Lewis Hamilton's narrow championship win over Felipe Massa in the 2008 championship title created a sensation, but beneath the surface, controversy brewed. Massa's home victory seemed like his championship claim, yet a mere 1-point margin favoured Hamilton. The following year, whispers of Crashgate stirred doubts. Now, reports reveal Massa is heading to court, reigniting the debate and seeking justice. Join us as we uncover the drama, unravel the controversies, and explore Massa's legal pursuit. In the intense battle for the 2008 championship, Hamilton edged out Massa by a mere 1 point, the scorecard reading 98-97. One might assume that Massa's contention revolves around the season's final race, the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix, held in early November. As that event concluded, Hamilton held the lead with 94 points, while Massa followed in second place, a mere 7 points adrift. Despite this gap, Massa still had a viable championship route. A triumphant home race, coupled with Hamilton finishing 6th lower, would have crowned him as the driver's champion. Yet, as Hamilton dramatically overtook Timo Glock in the last corner, he secured a 5th place finish, clinching the title with a solitary point to spare. However, it's essential to note that Massa's claims do not originate from the Brazilian Grand Prix. Instead, they trace back to the Singapore Grand Prix in September, marking the 15th race out of the 18 that year. Notably, this event held significance as Formula One's debut in Singapore and was also the sport's inaugural night race, adding a unique element to this historic competition. Amid uncertainties about its Formula One future beyond 2009, Renault grappled with challenges following its championship victories in 2005 and 2006. The global financial crisis, sparked by the banking sector, impacted corporate finances, spotlighting the team's substantial annual cost of over £200 million. Team leader Flavio Briatore conveyed to his senior staff that the parent company's outlook hinged on securing a race win this season. However, achieving this objective seemed improbable, given the team's struggling performance. Even with driver Fernando Alonso, the car lacked the competitive edge needed for success. The pressure to attain victory was intensified by the looming prospect of potential team closure, a situation senior staff were contending with. In Singapore, the team's prospects took a positive turn. The car's development was progressing well, benefiting from a significant power boost due to the new ELF fuel brand. The street circuit offered an ideal setting for Alonso to showcase his skills. However, a setback occurred during qualifying. After initially performing well in Q1, Alonso faced a fuel feed issue during his first Q2 lap, leaving him stranded on the track. This unfortunate event relegated him to the 15th starting position, a blow to his chances. The atmosphere was dull in the post-qualifying debrief. Strategy discussions with senior personnel led to a light-hearted suggestion for one of the team members to have Alonso pit early, followed by a deliberate crash from Piquet Jr. to trigger a safety car and advance Alonso's position on the grid. Surprisingly, this suggestion gained attention. Flavio Briatore, the team leader, recognized its potential and inquired about its feasibility. After analysing the track layout and crane positions, it was determined that causing a controlled incident at turn 17 would necessitate a safety car. Briatore instructed his team to proceed, and Piquet Jr. agreed to the plan. However, reportedly, Piquet agreed to it due to pressure from Briatore, who allegedly implied that his future with the team was at stake. On the instruction of push on the radio, Piquet Jr. was supposed to execute a controlled spin at turn 17, nudging the right rear tyre into the barriers, creating a minor obstruction. This was a calculated move intended to prompt a safety car deployment and manipulate the race dynamics. As the race commenced, pole sitter Massa led comfortably, followed by Hamilton, Raikkonen and Kubica. Alonso started in 12th position, while Piquet began from 18th on the grid. Alonso showcased his prowess early on, overtaking Jarno Trulli's fuel-laden Toyota to secure the 11th spot by lap 9. In a puzzling move, just 3 laps later, Alonso made an unexpected pit stop for refueling and tyre change. Given his disadvantaged starting position, this strategic choice seemed counterintuitive and pushed him to the back of the field. Shortly after Alonso's pit stop, Piquet was instructed to push and, in accordance with the pre-arranged plan, crash at turn 17. However, executing a deliberate crash proved to be more complex than anticipated. Piquet's cautious approach to induce a controlled spin resulted in an unintended collision with the opposite wall, causing considerable impact. Concern gripped the Renault team as they feared for Piquet's safety, but fortunately, he emerged unscathed. With the safety car deployed and the pit lane closed for 3 laps, the tightly packed field shuffled the race dynamics. Alonso's position improved significantly, moving him up to 5th place ahead of Webber. In stark contrast, disaster struck for Massa. Amid the rush to refuel his and Raikkonen's Ferrari, a miscommunication led to Massa being released with the fuel hose still attached. He drove down the pit lane trailing the hose before being halted for corrections. The ensuing drive-through penalty for the unsafe release further hindered Massa's fortunes. Ultimately, a race that seemed destined for Massa's pole to flag triumphant concluded with him finishing in the 13th position out of 14, a far cry from his initial dominance. Following the pit lane mishap, attention shifted to the potential culprit behind Massa's error, with a spotlight on Ferrari's electronic signaling system responsible for indicating a driver's exit from the pit. Some voices in the F1 community pointed to this system as the likely cause. However, Ferrari's team principal at the time, Stefano Domenicali, who currently holds the position of F1 CEO, held firm in asserting that the error was attributed to a human mistake rather than a technical glitch. In the aftermath of the event, there were whispers of intrigue. Reports surfaced suggesting that Massa reached out to Flavio Briatore, Renault's managing director, seeking to unravel the circumstances that led to the pit lane mishap. The incident became a focal point of discussion and speculation within the F1 circle. Skipping ahead to the 2009 Hungarian Grand Prix and the subsequent season, the course of events took a dramatic turn. Piquet's performance woes culminated in him failing to secure any points, prompting Renault to release him after the 10th race of the season. Shortly afterward, Brazilian television aired revelations regarding the Singapore incident, alleging that Renault instructed Piquet to crash intentionally. The disclosure prompted the FIA to swiftly initiate an investigation into these claims. By early September, F1's governing body formally accused both Renault and Piquet of manipulating the outcome of the Singapore Grand Prix. This led to a summoning of the implicated parties to a critical meeting at the FIA World Motorsport Council in Paris later that month. Amidst escalating tensions, Renault initially threatened legal action against Piquet in the lead-up to the hearing. However, as the event neared, the team reversed its stance, opting not to contest the charges. In a significant announcement, Renault declared that Flavio Briatore, their team principal, and Pat Simmons, their director of engineering, would be departing from the team. The subsequent hearing convened, ultimately resulting in FIA suspending Renault from F1 for a span of 2 years. Although the sentence was eventually suspended, the episode cast a dark shadow over the team and the entire sport. As consequences unfolded, Briatore found himself suspended indefinitely from FIA-sanctioned events. Simultaneously, Simmons received a 5-year suspension. Notably, despite directly benefiting from the orchestrated crash, Alonso was absolved of any wrongdoing in the investigation's findings. If not for Nelson Piquet Jr.'s intentional crash at Singapore, Massa would have entered the final race in Brazil with an advantage of approximately 3 points. Considering Massa's subsequent victory in Interlagos and Hamilton's 5th place finish, Massa would likely have secured the championship with a comfortable lead of around 9 points. In straightforward terms, Massa asserts that due to Crashgate and F1's apparent awareness of the scheme before the 2009 investigation, he is the rightful champion of the 2008 season. Massa's legal representation has sent a letter before claim to F1 CEO Domenicali and FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem. The letter, obtained by Reuters, accuses that Massa was victimized by a conspiracy involving high-ranking F1 figures and the FIA, resulting in an unjust loss of the 2008 Drivers' Championship title. The letter emphasizes Massa's inability to precisely quantify his losses at this stage, estimating them to surpass tens of millions of euros. This sum, however, doesn't encompass the profound moral and reputational damages he endured. An FIA spokesperson confirmed the receipt of the letter before claim, as reported by Reuters. While the investigation of Renault and Piquet's admissions in 2009 established the intentional nature of the crash, benefiting Alonso, Massa further contends that influential F1 decision-makers were privy to the plan at the time and chose inaction. Massa specifically cites comments made by former F1 chief Bernie Ecclestone in March of the current year. According to allegations, Ecclestone revealed that he and then FIA President Max Mosley were aware of the situation during the 2008 season, shedding light on their knowledge as leaders of F1 during that period. While Massa's ultimate goal is unclear, he may be primarily seeking financial compensation for the losses incurred due to missing out on the championship bonus. His Ferrari contract likely included substantial bonuses for winning the championship. Additionally, being a world champion could have enhanced his future commercial prospects. The legal pursuit raises several complex questions. Massa's case challenges the legitimacy of altering past championship outcomes and the potential consequences for race history. If successful, this could set a precedent for revisiting championship results based on alleged wrongdoing. Whether Massa's legal action will lead to a significant change in the championship outcome remains uncertain. The broader implications for the integrity of the sport, historical race results, and the role of regulatory bodies in addressing past misconduct are all topics that came into play in this legal endeavor. Keep those comments coming and let us know your thoughts on this issue. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel because we'll be right here, bringing you all the latest updates as the drama unfolds in the F1 world.